Hola, es Radio Incompleta, desde febrero 2022. Hello, hello, hello. This is Covert Radio. It is February the 10th, 2022, and it's right about 1 a.m. We're going to make this pretty quick, hopefully. I have so much content for you guys. I had an epiphany tonight, and it's unbelievable. I'm just going to touch on it here in a moment because obviously it's going to need its own video, but I like to drop little seeds when I get them. A, so I remember, and B, so there's a record just in case you never know what's going to happen. Speaking of records, you guys can take a look at the screen here. This is Covert Radio on YouTube. And, here's my channel. And if you scroll down, can you guys, you can't see the scroll bar, but here, let me move this. I'm all the way scrolled down to the bottom. Let me see. Yeah, there you can see the scroll on the right side of your screen there. If you look down, there's no more videos. I'm scrolled all the way down to the bottom of the page. And there is no more videos from Covert Radio. Oh, must be because that's all this Covert Radio guy ever did. He just started on YouTube a year ago. That's not true. So is this another layer of censorship that's happening to Covert Radio? Now people can't even see, even if they somehow manage to find me, now they can't even see 95% of my content. just take it. Take it. You can see the other, the older ones. If you go to sort by and you go oldest, you can see this was 5 years ago. There's 14,000 views on that video, and you can scroll down. There's 7,000 on that one, and 25,000, 15,000 views on that one. But there's the end of them. 9,000 views on this one. There's the end of them right there. Nope, no more. So he did all these videos 5 years ago, and then Covert Radio did these videos here in the last year. But between the last 4 years, there's nothing. So the only reason I'm showing you this is so that you can maybe tell me, if you go to the Covert Radio YouTube channel, is this happening to you too? Or is this just some sort of weird glitch that's happening to me right now? I don't know. And, it's laughable. Yes, granted, I used to get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 views on some videos. Again, it's not what I say. It's what we think. It's not what we talk about. It's what we think. That's the control mechanism is how to, control your mind and control my mind. And again, this is just one more layer of just censorship. And it's totally unneeded, completely unneeded. Again, this is an American company, American tax loopholes, American tax funding, over $1 billion in subsidies. They're a corporation. They have corporate structure. And they hire, Americans to work in their American-based company. Low wage, I'm sure a lot lower than what they could get some Chinese or who knows. But the reality is they have all the benefits of being in America except honoring Americans' constitutional rights, which they feel that they don't have to honor because they just got to say we're a private company. No matter if it's Section 230 or not, just completely unbelievable. And I can't wait for the day the lawsuit comes, because we'll be justified. Did you guys see this? Take a look at your screen.
I want you to know, double vaxxed booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes!
This is a comedian named Heather McDonald, and I guess she was related, somehow, I'm saying professionally, to Chelsea Handler, or she had some association with her, whatever. This was a couple days ago. You could see February the 8th, this video was posted. But the event happened this past weekend, about 4 or 5 days ago, 3 or 4 days ago. But she says here she's...
I don't mean to brag. I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes! Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice. So nice.
That was not part of the act. You could see here that she literally bashes her head off of the floor. And, obviously you're at the Improv. People don't know any better. They may believe it's part of the act, but I mean, I don't know. You could see that that's a real fall, and it was a real fall. The Heather McDonald suffers a skull fracture after collapsing on stage. She said, "I felt so dizzy." It was not part of the act. She busted her skull wide open. She's still going under some observation, still going through some tests. They're trying to see what's going on. But, somebody close to me had brought this to my attention that, she had mentioned in the beginning, I don't have to repeat it, do I? She got 2 of those, 1 of those, 1 of those, okay? And then she mocks Jesus Christ, and then she bashes her skull and cracks it open on the stage. So a friend of mine very close to Covert Radio had, reminded me, hey, you remember I told you that when my her brother got his doobie doozers and jibby jabbies and his booster, when he got his, he also fainted. And this is a person, she said, has 0 history of fainting. I, myself, have a family member. Well, they're distant, and I only really talk to their mother, and then it's only when somebody dies. But they had told me, oh, hey, by the way, blah, 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 crack their head open. And it's almost an identical story. Got this, got that, got this and that. Few weeks later, kaboomy, boom, cracks their skull open. In fact, my Uncle John died that exact same way. He fell, hit his head, cracked it open, and then he never got out of the hospital because once he was rushed in, then it was test after test after test. Oh, hey, by the way, you have cancer. Drain the insurance, drain the insurance, drain the insurance. Oh, he died of a heart attack. But it all started from him cracking his head open. You can see here that McDonald's fainting spell does not appear to be COVID related. Her rep also said she received a booster about 3 weeks ago, and she recently tested negative. That's sad. Not making light of this. I'm not making a joke about it whatsoever. But speaking of comedians, there was another guy. Let me think, what was his name? He just recently died too. And his cause of death was just established today. They made it public. Let's see here. What was that from? Oh, yeah, head trauma. It was Bob Saget, who died on, January the 10th. And they're saying that I'm gobsmacked. They're saying that there's no sign. He had a show the night before. He was in his bed in his room. That's where they found him on January the 9th or 10th. The medical examiner stated that there's no evidence of foul play. There's no drug use, anything like that. But he had a hit to the skull. I'm trying to see where that was at. The authorities have determined that Bob passed from head trauma. They have concluded that he accidentally hit the back of his head. He hit the back of his head on something. You know, he thought nothing of it and he went to sleep. So, you know, was it that night? Was it earlier in the show? Was it earlier in the day? His family never came out and said, oh, yeah, by the way, Bob said that he did hit his head. It could have been 2-3 weeks ago. Like this here was about 3.5 weeks, just like Heather, who 3 weeks ago, blah, 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 got this and that. Right here, this was about 3 or 4 weeks prior to Bob's death. And this is his podcast here.
Amazing opportunity.
Believe me, it's not that exciting. I live with myself. It's not always a dream walk, you know. I went to the pharmacy the other day. I got a booster shot, and I should have gotten it in my arm, but I got it in my butt, so I'm a little pain. But
and he's dead 3 weeks later. Same exact method as Heather, except Heather's not dead. She's in, she has a serious fracture on her skull. So, you know, fill in your own conclusion. Hey, what are you trying to do, Covert Radio? You crazy cuckoo loop-de-loo? What are you talking about? This and that and her falling and hitting her head has nothing to do with this at all, who fell and hit his head and died 3 or 4 weeks after this one got exactly what he got 3 or 4 weeks prior. You loop-de-loo crazy conspiracy theorist racist. No, you get out of my head. Get out. YouTube fact checkers, get this nothing head dunderskull, kerpunkin doodle scarfing no out of my skull. We don't want to hear this no. CNN, tell me what happened. No, I won't listen to conspiracy crazy cuckoos. You know, I just noticed that in my rant there, I called myself a nothing head. Do you know what nothing head is? Any Kurt Vonnegut fans out there? Anyone? Raise your hands. Anyone? Oh, there's a couple. Yeah, in the back. How you guys doing back here? Can you hear me? Having a good night? Huh? All right. Hey, thanks for coming out. Yeah, Kurt Vonnegut wrote a little story called Welcome to the Monkey House. They use the word nothing head in the story. It's basically about Billy the Poet, and you know, he's considered in this futuristic world, you know, he's called a nothing head is what he's considered. I don't want to spoil it if you plan on reading it, but you know, the nothing heads were basically people who were not taking their birth control. You know, was this ethical birth control, you know, because the world was overpopulated in the future. And, you know, I forget what the number was. It was like 17 billion people on the planet. But the pill that you're obligated to take every day made it impossible for people to enjoy sex. You know, and since the world was so overpopulated, the government required all their citizens to take pills. Wow, crazy Kurt Vonnegut, cuckoo skull, right? It made sex pleasureless. You know, nobody got any pleasure from it. And that way it just dissuaded unnecessary reproduction. The evil peasants are reproducing. But the spin of this little story that Vonnegut wrote was there was voluntary suicide parlors. And, you know, Billy the Poet meets a girl and da-da-da-da. I'm not going to get all into it, but yeah, it's a good story. It's Kurt Vonnegut's Welcome to the Monkey House. But yeah, there's a thing called a nothing head. So, you know, I don't want to make this video long, but I do want to tell you about this epiphany I had. You guys see, let's see here. I don't have it up, but I did a video about, it was March, and right before the pandemic was announced. It was 2020, right around that time. And I mentioned exercise. I talked about Event 201. I had an unbelievable, it almost melted my brain epiphany tonight. You know, I don't want to spoil it, but what if this has really all been an exercise? And I'm not kidding you. There's a lot of evidence that I'm going to show you. And I mean, I'm even saying down to placebo and just straight saline that a lot of people got. Some people got the real stuff. Some people got that. Some people got that. But if you, which I've done, I've studied, and I really, I took notes, and I really watched Event 201 a couple years ago. And then I did a few videos about it. And I always said in part four, and everything that's happening right now with the thing that's going on in Canada, they're not going to leave this go. This, I told you I'm terrified. There's something coming, and I had an epiphany, and I'm pretty sure I know what it is. And I want to, do a video about it for you guys. But the one thing I want to really advise you is there is never going to be another time like this in our lifetimes. You have nothing to lose. We have to stay strong, because I promise you, when the real pandemic comes, which it may have already started because they're talking Neocove. When the real pandemic starts, everything is now in place. Everything is now in place. They know who's manageable. They know who isn't. They've fine-tuned the messaging. But more importantly, and way more importantly, for the end goal of the Great Reset, a book written by Klaus Schwab, who is the World Economic Forum head, the one who says you will own nothing, you will be happy. This is the guy that wants a one world government. He wants a one world health system. He wants a one world penalty and law system. There's no more sovereignty. There's no more nations. Everybody through this has been brought to their knees. We've all been brought to our knees. But the final straw is literally in the mail, and it's coming. It's on its way. I'm telling you. And the future that they have for us is the hell that you do not want to live in. I've studied these people since 1997. I know what's coming. And before you take your hat off and you're swinging it in the air, we did it with all the truckers. This is going to end very badly. And I'm also going to give you my opinion on that in another video. You have to share Covert Radio while I'm able to still communicate with you guys, because through this whole exercise in the last 2 years, one of the major things that they had to fine tune was the deep learning algorithmic artificial intelligence. They now know the phrasing. They know the words. They know when they do this, these ones say that. When we say this, those ones say that. When we do this, this is the outcome of that. They fine-tuned the messaging now. They fine-tuned the algorithms. They fine-tuned all of this censorship. They're fine-tuning all of the ways that they're going to be able to really bring the hammer down this next time around. We have to stay strong. We have to stay focused. And I'm telling you, the bad part is really just about to start. I'm going to blow your mind with the next few videos. You guys take care. Have a good day.